You're listening to PowerHouse. PowerHouse. PowerHouse.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the PowerHouse, and actually would be the first episode. We could say this is a new beginning because, well, I've been out of this for a while. Why? Because I procrastinate. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to be so... No, that is true. I've been procrastinating. Not so much procrastinating. I've been giving priority to Cursory Overload. That's the podcast where me and my buddy, or my brother from another mother, get together and talk all kinds of smack. You know, it's a conversation between two dudes pretending to be two dudes that disguise as other dudes. No, I don't even know. I'm just talking smack right now. But that's exactly what we do in Cursory Overload. We just shoot the breeze and hope to take you away for a few minutes from your everyday life. You know, and hopefully after you're done listening to our BS, you're like, dang, okay, I can go tackle on the world because I'm not as fucked up as K-Dog and Pato. I'm just saying. Anyway, this is the PowerHouse. It's been a while since I've done this podcast, which I started on my own. Anyway, we're going to call this episode A New Beginning. Why? I don't know if you've noticed, but most of the episodes from before disappeared. In fact, I think the only one that's left there is a Christmas episode. That's like, I'm going to leave that there just because it's there. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a little how do you say this, review of how this podcasting thing started. You know, many moons ago, I've had this friend, you know, y'all know as K-Dog, and he was always yapping about podcasting, and he wanted to get into it. So somehow he convinced me, and after a long process, I mean, he was talking about this shit way back, and you know, before podcasting was the thing, before it was this easy, as easy as I'm doing it right now. Before, I mean, back 2009, 2010, when he was talking about it, the technology required to carry out a podcast, well, was a little bit beyond our grasp. I mean, or at least that's what I thought. It was like, it was very intimidating. I was like, dude, you need to know how to hack in order to do that. But anyway, bottom line is, giving you a little rehash of how we got into this. 2017, fast forward, about 3, almost 4 years ago, we got into this podcasting, and it started with an episode of the PowerHouse, an episode where I was ranting about how somebody took all the coffee from the break room and didn't make another pot. Of course, now thanks to the pandemic and everything, the last thing we want is to, I mean, unless we really trust the individuals we're working with, we're very, I don't know, picky. I don't know about you, maybe me, maybe it's just me, but I don't drink just from any coffee pot. I'm just saying. Anyway, bottom line, okay, I think I'm done talking smack. I mean, if you're familiar with the podcast, welcome back. If you're brand new or you just, you know, thank you for tuning in. As always, you know, I know you have choices because now more than ever, and especially since we've been on hiatus, every time I'm looking at my Facebook page, you know, the Underdog Podcast or Podcast Movement, I see people like very excited, like, yay, I launched my podcast. And I remember that first level of excitement when we were like podcasting and we were like going for it, and K-Dog and I thought we were going to take over the world one podcast at a time. But anyway, that's just how it goes, you know. So bottom line is, this is a new beginning for the PowerHouse. Why did I scrub a lot of the episodes? I don't know. For a minute there, I thought we were done with this podcasting thing. I mean, K-Dog's moved to the East Coast, and then he's on the move again. I mean, still staying over there on the East Coast. So when we do Cursory Overload, it will still be coming to you from basically almost coast to coast. Almost, I say. I mean, I'm really in the Southwest, you know, down in Arizona. But basically, what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is when we get down to the nitty gritty and stop making excuses or whatever it is we've been doing. No, actually, when he gets his new computer, I don't know, we're going to sit down and talk some more shit, discuss what's been going on, and I don't know, talk about current events. Well, the podcast that I'm doing right now, PowerHouse, it used to be a 15-minute rant where I would, rant, or sometimes I would just talk about things. But when I was doing this, you have to remember that we were, I don't want to get political or anything, but yeah, the orange, whatever thing was president. So it was hard not to get political. So that's one of the reasons why I started streamlining and getting rid of most of the other podcasts. And, I want this to be my fun outlet. Of course we can talk about whatever, and I'm going to talk about whatever because that's the reason why I like doing this podcast. But I want to share something with you guys that, of course, I was already sharing it even back then. I wish I would have kept some of those where I was talking about Dogecoin. I was talking about cryptocurrencies. I mean, in fact, back then, like 2019, when I came across this Dogecoin, and then when Trump tried to ban TikTok, and I started paying attention to all that. Like when TikTokers tried to bring Dogecoin to the moon back in the day, before anybody, excuse me, before anybody paid any real attention to it. The first time that it happened on TikTok, they tried to do a pump on Dogecoin and brought it up some, not quite to a penny, but it brought it up some. Then it finally made it to a penny, and then the world started paying attention. And then that infamous day in January when it hit 8 cents. My story is a tragic one. Actually, I really cannot complain because I've been in Dogecoin since 2019. Around this time last year, I was holding about 200,000 units of that. Yeah, I would have made bank. But the problem is because it started as a joke, as a joke meme coin. How can I say this? Every time that it would go up, I would take profits. Or it would go down and I saw that I was losing money, I would jump out of it. Bottom line is, I cannot complain about Dogecoin because I've made some money off of it. Other people have lost money on it. I understand that. You have to be careful, do your research. By the way, anything I talk about here is not financial advice. Everything is for entertainment, and I'm talking about my goof ups here. So I slept on Dogecoin. I mean, I had a whole mess of, like I said, over 200,000 units that if I would have kept to today, oh wow. Gosh, imagine when it hit 70 cents, I would have had over $140,000. I'm just saying, if I'm saying anything. But anyway, it's interesting how sometimes I don't know. It's like you have something and you let it go, and then it becomes something bigger. I mean, it's a story of my life. Anyway, no, I'm just saying. If I'm saying anything, it's just that a lot of the times. Well, with Dogecoin, I mean, I kept hearing everywhere, oh, it's just a joke. One of these days you're going to wake up and your money's going to be gone. You should invest in something more stable. So somebody gave me the advice you should take that money and put it into Ford stock. Now, stocks in Ford, the car company, were like $5 each. So, yeah, I took at that time I had about $600 worth of Doge. Yeah, $600 was almost 200,000 Dogecoins. Okay? That's how cheap they were. $600 will get you maybe 2,000 Dogecoin, not even 2,000 Dogecoin right now. So $600,000, I wish. $600 about a year ago was about 200,000 Dogecoin, or at the time. So anyway, I had about $600. That was my entire portfolio. And I took most of the money and invested it in Ford. Now, no complaints there. Over time, the stock went up to like $12 a share. So I doubled my money. I made money. So I can't be mad at that. I mean, I can't be mad at the person that gave me the advice. Actually, yes, I can. I'm going to hunt you down, motherfucker. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. It was sound advice. I made money. I mean, I took my Dogecoin money because it wasn't a losing streak at that time. And I bought about 50 shares of Ford. Yeah, sure. They doubled up in price, about $5 a pop and close to $12. And I kept about 20,000 Doge. That was it. But then when it started going up and the prices kept going up, I kept taking profits. So I missed out on that glorious day in January when it hit 8 cents. I missed. You see, I'm back in Doge. I've obviously kept investing, but now I'm at a higher price. I mean, every time that I buy Doge now, it's like it amazes me how. I mean, in order to get 1,000 units of Doge right now, you have to shell out about $300. I mean, as we're speaking right now, last I checked, it was like 29 cents each. So you'd have to shell out about $290 to buy 1,000 units. And before, $10 would do that. So, in fact, like I said, I was used to buying them wholesale because they were under a penny. I think when I first got into Doge, it was like 0.0003 something. Yeah, I know. That was a big fuck up on my part. And it's that once again, we surround ourselves. A lot of the times, cryptocurrency was very new at the time. So that was my thing. It's like, well, yeah, I don't know anything about this. What if it gets outlawed? What if blah, blah, blah? All these factors that could come into place. And anyway, bottom line is I missed out on the big payday for Dogecoin. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I'm still holding some Doge. I mean, if it goes to the moon, like that dude on YouTube says, what's his name? Wallace, I think it's his last name, Matt Wallace. Anyway, if it goes to the moon, if it hits $1, well, good. I mean, I'll be making about 70% on my investment because I'm currently invested in Dogecoin. I got a few units and I bought in around the 25-cent mark. So, hey, if it hits $1, 75-cent profits per every Doge is pretty good, right? If it goes even higher. So right now, I'm actually doing what they call hodling, HODLING. I'm holding on to those to see if they do something magical because I've seen the magic already happen once. And I missed out on it because lack of patience, listening to the voice of reason, because it does seem crazy. I mean, for us that like cryptocurrencies is something totally new right now. I mean, it's still very new. It's still in its early stages. I mean, it's not too late. There's still a lot of possibilities. Like this, what I'm going to talk about this, and I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying you should invest in that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. In fact, what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is that you should think about it. But right now, there's this thing called Shiba Inu, which was branded as the Dogecoin killer. But I think that was that's more of a marketing ploy, really, to attach it to Dogecoin. And I think it worked because it's one of the currencies that most people look at. I mean, I don't have the statistics right now. I don't have the computer up because this is one of those spontaneous podcasts that I'm doing. But look it up, Shiba Inu coin. It's up there. They got something coming out, the Shiba swap. In fact, there was like 150,000 signatures on change.org addressed to Robinhood to include Shiba Inu coin, SHIB, which that would be awesome. In fact, you know what? That's how I found out about Dogecoin back in like 2019 when Robinhood, because I've been using the Robinhood platform since 2016. I didn't really have much money to invest, so I started with 5 here, 5 there, nickel and diming my way up, I'm not bragging, but I'm close to the $2,000 mark. I mean, which for someone that's just, I work full time. I'm not really a professional investor. What I do what I do. Like I said, I've nickeled my way up into the thousands, Dogecoin had a lot to do with that. I mean, that was part of a lot of the money I got right now. In fact, it came from Dogecoin. I wish I would have had a little bit more faith in it and would have kept all my 200,000 units. Okay, no, never mind. Well, what I'm saying once again, what I was telling you is that I missed out on that opportunity. Well, and back then, cryptocurrencies were fairly new. We started as a joke coin. Now, Shiba Inu is like a joke on the joke. But in all reality, though, Shiba Inu is built on the Ethereum network, and it has, let's just say, Dogecoin started as a joke mocking Bitcoin. This Shiba Inu, even though it's riding the coattails of Dogecoin, it's actually being designed to have a little bit more uses, being more used.